UFC Vegas 103. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty. Look at the white skin, aka the White Boy Wonder. Today, I'm here to give you all of my predictions and picks for UFC Vegas 103. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe, like the video, comment, share. Support goes a long way. Recapping last week like we always do, staying true. We went 8-4 on the picks. Not too bad. Literally the same result as the week prior, so kind of crazy, right? So 8-4 on the picks. Overall, for UFC 2025, we are 44-28. Now, before we break down the main event here, Javid Basharat specifically, F you. If you know, you know. Anyway, moving on to UFC Vegas 103. Let's get it. Let's break down the main event here first. We got Manel Kape, a.k.a. the Star Boy, versus Asu Almabayev, a.k.a. Zolifikar. Pretty sure I said that wrong. I'm sorry, Asu. Odds on the fight, what do we got here? Minus 230 for Manel Kape, plus 185 for Asu. My pick for the fight here, we're going to roll with Star Boy. Manel Kape is the pick for the main event. Now, he was originally supposed to fight Brandon Royval, who was ranked number 1. This guy had the last fight when he beat this Bruno Silva here, begging to Dana for a title shot, begging to Dana. I mean, literally like 5 minutes sitting there, near the octagon, begging for it. So he gives him a number 1 in Brandon Royval. Royval pulls out. Now he's fighting down in competition, ranked number 9. He needs to win this fight, right? If he loses this fight, I mean, obviously he's going to be, ranks way lower. Going to have to. I mean, it's going to be a career buster, man. It's going to be a career buster. So that's just another piece of why I picked him as motivation to win the fight. But breaking down the fighters themselves, Manel Kape, man, decent striker, lots of experience. He's explosive. He has pretty good wrestling, nice movement. He has a slight reach advantage here. What is it? 3 inches. He always keeps the distance, too. He's nice at keeping the distance, man. And, as long as he can withstand the takedowns, and he has pretty good takedown defense of Asu Almabayev, he should be straight. He should be able to pick him apart for 4 or 5 rounds. Asu Almabayev, I've never seen him gone 5 rounds or past the 3rd round, to be fair. Especially not in the UFC either. So, yeah, I mean, Manel Kape is he's motivated to win, man. Also training at Extreme Couture, a nice gym. Asu Almabayev, but, I'm going to give him his flowers, right? Although he has decision flowers. Look at this. He has 3 fights within the last year. Props. Ranked 9th already. A year and a half into the UFC. But his game plan is to take you down, and that's how he's got all 3 of these wins here. Was just kind of a pray and lay, let me get points, and let me win the round kind of a style. And that's not going to work with Manel Kape. We saw Manel Kape, this L here, his loss to Muhammad Mokaev. Was only taken down for maybe a minute and a half and got right back up, and that was in the 3rd round. That was one of the worst fights I've ever seen, by the way. But honestly, Manel Kape, I think he can withstand the takedowns of Asu, and he'll be able to take this. By decision. Manel Kape by decision. I think that's how it goes. Short notice fight. No finishes in the UFC other than this submission to Ode Osborne. I mean, when he's on the ground, he's not doing a lot of damage. I think Manel Kape is the rightful favorite here at minus 230. But again, hey, it's the UFC. Anything can happen. Plus 185 for Asu. I mean, I think the odds are set accordingly, in my opinion. So let's see what Tapology says for the 2 here. I think it'll be Manel Kape by decision by a long shot. Let's see what everyone says. Oh, actually, a lot of people on Almabayev. You're suspect of Manel Kape's takedown defense by decision. Manel Kape by KO? I don't know. Let's not forget Manel Kape fought Pantoja, first fight in the UFC. Did lose, but didn't get ragdolled. Didn't get held on the ground all 3 rounds. Stood his own. Went to decision. He's the current champion, beating the piss out of everybody. I think actually he should have just got a rematch on the title if Pantoja was up for it. But, I don't know. We got Manel Kape. And we move on. Oh. Let me just say, guys. I am so excited for this thriller co-main event. We have Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. If you don't know either of these fighters or can't sense my sarcasm, it's there. I mean, come on. Like, are you serious? Can versus can? Bum versus bum? These are my notes. Bum, chinny, okay. Like these are the terms I'm using to describe these fighters. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, we got Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. Before I get to the pick here, what are the odds? Plus 145 for Cody Brundage, minus 170 for Julian Marquez. And honestly, I never thought I'd ever be saying this in my life. Ever. But I am picking Cody Brundage. I'm picking Cody Brundage. Look, man. Julian Marquez, very inactive and on a terrible losing streak. You're showing up once a year to get fucking knocked out by Zach Reese, by Mark Andre. RoboCop, okay. You can get a pass on that one. And your wins are against no names. Come on now. Cody Brundage, yet he is trash. Has a couple wins in the past 5, and he's actually staying active. He has 5 fights within the last, year and 6 months. You have 1. It's ridiculous. So, I give Cody Brundage props for how active he is. It's just not co-main event worthy. Like, I don't know if Dana was just, smoking a big old joint and was like, let's just put the 2 worst fighters in the co-main just for the fuck of it. Like, I think that's what happened. Like, this is awful. But yeah, Cody Brundage, the underdog. Yes, he's a bum, but he's tough. Yeah, he's a little chinny. What do we got here? A no contest because he was hitting Abdul in the back of the head. Bo Nichols sub, okay. Zach Reese KO. So he knocked out Zach Reese while he got knocked out by him. So if you do the MMA math, right? Win over Jacob Malkoun. I mean, and then Elisa said, come on. He lost to Cedricus Dumas. I mean, anyway. We can go on and on about Cody Brundage. He's not very good. I mean, he's an okay wrestler. I mean, what he's got going for me is he's active and he has, okay cardio. Julian Marquez, on the other hand, kill or be killed. He's very chinny. He's inactive. Last I saw, he was training out of OK Gym, but now, I guess his gym's unavailable. But, yeah, I mean, this should have been the very first fight on the night just to get it over with, if it was, a fight to begin with. Cody Brundage by fucking submission. Fuck it. That's my pick. What does Tapology have to say? They're agreeing with me. Is something wrong with these odds here? This is kind of scary, man. Brundage by KO. Okay, I'm on the little 5%. Brundage by submission. I think he hits him and then gets like a club and sub. What the fuck? Am I stupid here? I don't know. Maybe the fucking books know something, man. That's my radars are going off here. My sketchy bet radar is going off. So, kind of weird. But we move on to the next fight. This could have been the co-main. This should have been the co-main. This is a pretty nice fight here. Anyway, we got Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovics. El Gringo. Odds on the fight. What do we got here? Plus 215 for Nasrat. Minus 265 for Ribovics. Yo, my pick for the fight is going to be Ribovics. Give me El Gringo. My dude is a dog. He is tough, okay? He's usually been an underdog in his past fights, but he comes out with wins. Nice split decision win over Daniel Zellhuber. If you are mad about it, don't be, because he did win that fight. KO'd Terrence McKinney. Now, how much stock will we put into that? I don't know. Decision win over Camille Kirk, not really a name. That's, flashy or eye-worthy. Lost to an OV in Radzabajev. Gets a win off the Daniel White Contender Series. But, these last two fights here, really showing improvement and has really been impressive here in the UFC. He's really great striking, throws nice body shots. He'll be the one that's moving forward the whole time. You're going to see Nasrat kind of, he has good movement, right? But he'll kind of be, running away in a sense from Ribovics. But that's how you avoid shots, right? So, it does tire him out, and you will see Nasrat kind of slow down near the later parts in the fight. And I say that because I think this fight goes later, right? I think this is a Ribovics by decision again. Nasrat's tough, man. He's a UFC vet. He has pretty solid takedown defense. He has pretty good combos himself. He likes to keep the distance, and he likes to kind of run around. He has solid cardio, but again, like I said, with all that movement that he does, it kind of slows him down near the end of the fight. But I think Esteban will be able to cut him off, close distance, find his shots. He hits hard, man. If he finds the right shot, he could hit Nasrat to the ground and to the mat. Minus 265 for Ribovics is crazy. Great kicks from Ribovics. He has that dog mentality. I love those fighters with dog mentality. Example, last week, Fluffy. He has that dog mentality. I just freaking like those fighters. Those are the kinds of people you like to pick and put money on because they're going to fight tooth and nail until their last freaking breath to win the fight. So, he's not a quitter. Let's just say that. He's not a quitter. He will break his opponent down. But downsides, he's a dog. He likes to brawl, right? He's kind of hittable. He leaves his chin in the air at times when he's throwing strikes, and he just leaves his leg exposed as well. He needs to check his leg kicks. I say that for a lot of people, but Ribovics needs to do it. Ribovics by decision. Pretty confident in that one, actually. What do the people say? What do the people say? Ribovics by decision or knockout. Literally nobody said sub. Not even a percentage. 17% on Haqparast. Yeah, man. We got El Gringo. Pretty confident in that one. Moving on to another fight where I'm like, why the f is this on the main card? But maybe Dana likes these, prospect heavyweights on the main card. Fighters, we got Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. Odds on the fight, we have plus 280 for Austin Lane and minus 360 for Mario Pinto. This is Mario Pinto's UFC debut. He did have a fight on Contender Series where he got a KO, obviously. He's, 6-0, 9-0. What, do you take 3 fights on from that point on? What's going on here with the discrepancy? Anyway. See, they did it here too. What are y'all doing with these records here, Tapology? Anywho. Mario Pinto has a lot of fights here in the regional scene, kind of bounced around here. But this is the league that he stayed. LF1, he was there for a while. So prior to that, he kind of bounced around. Anyway. Yeah, minus 360 for Pinto, plus 280 for Lane. My pick for the fight is going to be Mario Pinto. Sorry that I dragged that on so long. Come on now, guys. We continue with this Austin Lane. I hope this is his last fight on his contract because I'm tired of him. He's not really an exciting fighter. He's kind of boring. He really just takes on debut people, or they throw him in last notice to a vet to get mauled. So, I mean, look at his fight history, guys. It's not very good. Got a win over Ribovics to Spain, but everybody beat him in the UFC. Yeah, he hits hard, but he can't wrestle for shit. So what did he do? He just wrestle-fucked him for 3 rounds. Lost to Janata Denise. Lost to Justin Tafa. Oh, you beat some scrub on Contender Series. And then an eye poke from Justin Tafa. And then he came back and beat the shit out of you. Mario Pinto, a heavyweight prospect, has a lot of power. Obviously, you know, a lot of his wins come by KO, but he's also fought 5 rounds as well. So, I mean, he has great striking, KO power, can defend takedowns, unlike Ribovics to Spain. And Austin Lane isn't some elite wrestler. He was a football player. And he's old. He's 37. 37. Going up against a Mario Pinto who's 11 years younger than him. He has the momentum. He has nice movement. Again, he has cardio. He's also went 5 rounds. This Pinto has went 5 rounds with heavyweights. He has nice ground game if he gets on top, and he has nice cage work. So I think he's a solid enough fighter to beat this scrub in Austin Lane, who is, I guess, long. He's mid as fuck. He's chinny. He is athletic and looks big. He has okay wrestling. His shots are wild, and he fights bums. And he loses to most of them. So, give me Mario Pinto. And look, Austin Lane, I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but this is just not the fight for you. And I think your time is up in the UFC, brother. We move on. Hold up. Before we move on, Mario Pinto by KO. That's what everybody says. We move on. Now this fight here, guys. This is a really good fight. This is a really good fight. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Yo, we got William Gomis, the Jaguar, versus Hyder Amil, the Hurricane. Odds on the fight: -200 for the Frenchman William Gomis, +170 for Hyder Amil. First off, great fight. This is a pretty good fight, not gonna lie. Secondly, my pick for the fight, we're going with the Frenchie. We're going with William Gomis. We're going with Jaguar. Rawr XD. Okay, that was super cringe. Anyway, reasoning. First off, William Gomis, compared to Hyder, has faced way better competition in the UFC. We'll go over it here. And yes, both are on 5-fight win streaks, but we'll see what they're over. A Joe Anderson Brito win? Yeah, by split, but a very good performance. And I actually bet on Brito in that fight, and I still think Gomis won. Over Giannis Gamori, okay. Francis Marshall, pretty good competition. Jarno Aarons, yeah, you can crap on him all you want, but he's still tough. And obviously it was a majority decision. And then Jose Marcos, that was obviously in the regional scene. Hyder Amil compared to, though, Jiang Young Lee, scrub. Fernie Garcia, scrub. Obviously this guy didn't make it into the UFC because you beat him on Contender Series. 7 years younger, longer, lankier, nice jab, great front kicks. Shown that he's tough and has great cardio. Hyder's relying on that knockout, man, as of recently. 2 straight KOs. Decision win here. And then KOs in the regional scene, LFA. I mean, Hyder's tough. He's mean. But he's very hittable. And sometimes when you go crazy with it, you leave your face open. And when you're going up with a, kind of like, I lack for a better term, like a technician, right? William Gomis is very technical. He can pick you apart. Like I said, nice jab, great front kicks, decent cardio, good movement, and can put a little humph in his punches. You know what I mean? It's not like, eyeballing knockout power, but if you take too many of them, you're going to get put down. But I just think he has the better momentum in this situation. He just, a couple things I don't like about him is he leaves his hands low and he needs to check his leg kicks. And Hyder could use that to his advantage, aka the low hands. but Gomis keeps the range pretty well. When it comes to grappling, Hyder might take that approach, try to take him down, get him to the fence and take him down. I've seen that a lot from him. But William Gomis has great fence work too, and he can flip that shit around or defend the takedowns. I mean, he didn't get ragdolled by Joe Anderson Brito, who loves to take people down and get ground and pound going, right? So who's it to say that Hyder's going to do that to him? Not me. Hyder does keep a frantic pace. He has slick, nice elbows, pretty good grappling, okay cage work, but at the end of the day, William Gomis is going to show Hyder Amil he's better than him. Yeah, long-winded to say that. William Gomis by decision. Hyder's tough, but Gomis is going to pick him apart. That's what everyone else is saying. Some people can see Amil, like, it could happen. Hyder could find the knockout shot. I mean, it's not out of the ordinary, but Gomis by decision is more likely to me. Excuse me. We move on. Excuse me again. Whoa. Danny Barlow looks so mean. Anyway. Here we go. A fight that I literally picked right before I started recording this video. I was actually I was on the teeter-totter, man, going from side to side, and ultimately I landed on Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. Left hand to God versus the future. Yeah, I picked Danny Barlow. We got the minus 305 favorite, plus 245 for Sam Patterson. This was tough for me because they are Danny Barlow in this weight division, weight class. Oh my gosh, this weight class, weight division, welterweight, whatever you want to call it, right? He's always had the range and reach advantage, but he doesn't have that in this situation. Actually, Sam Patterson's a little bit taller than him, and the reach is essentially the same. Danny Barlow's always been nice at keeping the range and striking from distance, and then, ultimately picking people apart with his really great striking and KO ability, aka left hand to God. Left hand to your face, God, because you dropped down and got hit so hard, right? If you get it. But Sam Patterson does the same kind of thing, and he's used to it too. So I'm interested to see how their styles clash. But I think Danny Barlow is more speedy. I think has great kicks. Obviously, he's the better boxer. But is his sub game sus? Sam Patterson's been pulling off these easy submissions in the UFC. A little bit too easy, in my opinion. Keeper Crosby, Johan Lanise, Vinicius Sensi on the Contender Series. Lights got knocked out by Yanal because he closed the distance and got him. I guess in my opinion can Danny Barlow withstand any submission attempts that Sam Patterson throws at him? And that's what I was like, man, can he? He really hasn't been tested in that regard. I mean, he's actually thrown some wrestling of his own in the past, some offensive wrestling, but I've never seen him kind of like, BJJ like on his back. Like, can he get up? He have a good get up game? Can he not get submitted? Oh man, I was this close to picking Sam Patterson because his striking's okay. Yeah, he's a little chinny that we saw with the all fight, and he's a little bit slower than Danny Barlow, but he hits pretty hard. He has a nice frame. He's also very long and lanky. He's underrated. And yeah, he's fought scrubs, but he's pulled off wins easy. He has nice takedown defense. I don't think Danny Barlow is interested in that at all, though. It's just that submission threat in the back of my head. It's like, Danny Barlow, could he get caught with standing guillotine? Could he get caught in a regular guillotine? Just pull the guillotine and drag him down? Can I get him an arm triangle, like something easy, rear naked choke? Like, I don't know. All those options are available to him if Danny Barlow gets taken down. But I just think he keeps the range. I think he boxes him up into pieces. I think this is I think he finds the shot, dude. I think he finds the shot. Danny Barlow by KO. Woo, yes, sir. And see, Sam Patterson by the like. People aren't stupid. The people picking Patterson have it by submission. So it's like they know he's live for that. Especially with 3 out of his last 4 wins coming by submission. So Danny Barlow is the pick. We move on. All right. Ooh. We got Ricardo Ramos. Carachaina versus Chepe Mariscal, the machine gun. Odds on the fight, minus 420 for Chepe. How about that, coming from Denver, Colorado? Plus 310 for Ricardo Ramos, the Brazilian. Excuse me. My pick for the fight and damn near everybody else is going to be Chepe, man. We got Chepe Mariscal as the pick. If Ricardo Ramos pulls this win off, it'll be the biggest upset of the night, for sure, in my opinion. I think Chepe might be the biggest favorite on the card. But he's called the machine gun for a reason. And he really does fire and come out like a machine gun. Another dog, right? And I picked these dogs. They're tough. They have this dog mentality. They don't give up. They're not quitters. And they just go at it, man. He's go, go, go. All right? He has amazing cardio coming out of Colorado, fighting with Elevation Fight Team. Relentless pressure. Great wrestling. He's a little hittable. I mean, he has a huge head. Obviously, he's taking pictures with scars on his face. So, yes, might take one to give one. But, yeah, man, his ground and pound is nasty. Great elbows. Great, pretty good striking, in my opinion. He's good in all facets. And, he trains at Elevation so he can keep on you with that pace. He just breaks down and just grinds his opponent down, man. Takes them down to their core, looks at it, crumples it up in his hand, throws it on the ground, and squishes it with his fucking foot. Chepe Mariscal by KO. But, a little dramatic there. Anyway, Ricardo Ramos has lots of UFC UX. He has lots of UFC experience. He loses to good people and he beats bums. Just cool about, okay, not necessarily a bum, but not the best in the UFC. Danny Chavez, losing to Julian and Rosa 10 months ago, not in his prime. Losing to Charles Jourdain, who's okay. Losing to Zubaria Tuguov, these are not and that was 3 years ago. The inactivity, he's okay striking. Submission threats, if we see them. He has decent power, but he's just very hittable. Chepe is the Mack truck. Ricardo Ramos is the deer in the headlights. I will leave it at that. Okay, people think Ramos is tough. Chepe by KO. Moving on. All right. We have Douglas Silva de Andrade, a.k.a. D. Silva, versus John Castaneda. Sexy Mexi. Now, for all my Bears fans out there, Sexy Rexy. Odds on the fight, minus 230 for Sexy Mexi. Coming out of Minnesota. Maybe he's a Vikings fan. D. Silva, Douglas Silva, 39 years old, plus 190. My pick for the fight here is going to be Sexy Mexi. My number one note on this fight. He has a bad mustache. Okay, you don't see it here in this picture, but John Castaneda has a dirty Mexican mustache. And it looks nasty. But anyway, I pick him for the fight because, he has some notable UFC experience. Pretty good leg kicks. Okay cardio. Nice jab. Mixes in takedowns well. Puts on a pretty good pace, actually. Not slow at all. And he has some nice submission and takedown defense. Now, I'm going to give Douglas Silva his flowers where it's due. This dude's a UFC vet. Great takedown defense. Tough. Pretty good striking. Some pretty deadly submission threats if you're, caught looking stupid. He's underrated and has a pretty good jab. However, he's not very active. Right? He's fighting once a year. Damn near. Losing to Miles Johns. Losing to Sednar Magomedov. Beating Cody Stamann, Sergey Morozov, and Gaston Perel. So basically, he will fraud check you in a minute. If you're worthy to fight in the UFC, you will beat D. Silva. Especially if he's at 39 years old. Like, it's not an easy task by all means. At all. Right? So John Castaneda, you got some work cut out for you, but I think he pulls off the decision. I think he's able to withstand any takedowns and submission threats. I think that he puts on the bigger shots. I think he uses the cage. I think he maybe even gets a takedown of his own, gets some ground and pound. John Castaneda by decision. Dirty Mexican mustache by decision. Okay, people are doubting Castaneda. 32% for Silva, 68% for Castaneda. So, almost like a 70-30 here. I just think Castaneda can get it done, man. I just think he can get it done. I think he's tougher. And an aging De Silva, although tough, going to the decision with Miles Johns, not getting KO'd or put away. Don't think that this is the match for him to win. So, yeah, John Castaneda by decision. Moving on. How many fights we got left? 4 left. Well, shit, we won't spend too much time on this one. This is really not the most exciting fight, to be honest with you. Anyway, Andrea Lee, KGB versus JJ Aldrich. Odds on the fight, plus 160 for Andrea Lee, minus 190 for JJ Aldrich. Yeah, I'm going to go with JJ Aldrich here. I mean, come on now. 5 L's in a row. 5 L's in a row. Younger fighter, fighting out of Denver. Yeah, it's JJ Aldrich, and she's, not elite, and she's not the best. I mean, she's gotten some wins here and there, right? Over people that she's supposed to beat. Losing to Erin Blanchfield, contender. Losing to this girl, not a contender, but still notable competition. And Veronica Hardy, not a good look, to be honest with you, especially after the way she got fucking KO'd by Wang Kong. Woo-wee. But yeah, JJ Aldrich, younger, tougher, bigger, faster, stronger. Andrea Lee, old, aging. Yeah, she's a vet. Yeah, she's tough. She has okay striking. But I'm going to have to go with the younger girl here, JJ Aldrich. This is a do not bet and a do not really look or watch for me. I had to give you a pick and prediction. That's all you guys are really going to get. This fight's not exciting. Like, don't waste your time watching it, to be honest with you. You're real degenerate and crazy if you're freaking betting on this shit. This is definitely going on my stayaways. Full spoiler alert. Full spoiler alert. Yeah, JJ Aldrich is the pick. We move on. Saw 4 fights left. Thought, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, everyone's fucking saying that. 82%, 96% by decision. All right, moving on. Next fight here, another good fight I'm excited about. We have Lucas Almeida versus Danny Silva, El Puma. Odds on the fight, we got minus 190 for El Puma, plus 160 for Lucas Almeida. My pick for this fight is going to be Danny Silva. Give me El Puma. Yo. Give me El Puma. Give me Danny Silva. Yo, I like this kid, man. I like him a lot. He has really great boxing, clean combos, tough, good chin. Although he is a little bit hittable, and when he gets in those brawling situations, he leaves himself exposed. Like I said, he's got a good chin. He's kind of a eat one to give one, and his give one is much more than they eat one, if you know what I mean. He packs a punch, man. This dude's tough. But on the other hand, Lucas Almeida, also tough. Okay? He likes to keep the range. He's lanky. He has nice leg kicks. He has nice straight shots. I mean, overall, he's a decent striker. Okay? He's from Brazil. You know I love my Brazilians. He's tough. Decent get-up game if he gets taken down. And somehow, some way, in his fights, he always just times his takedowns perfectly. Like scenario-wise in the eyes of the judges, or it sways the way that the momentum's going in the fight. He just comes up with timely takedowns. So, will that come into play here? No. No. Because Danny Silva, man, going to put the pressure on for 3 rounds. Has great cardio. Always moving forward. Going to put the pressure on Lucas Almeida. He's not going to like that. Has solid ground game and likes to get people up onto the cage to get them taken down. Counters, man. Like I said, man, Danny Silva's tough. So, although you'll be like, oh shit, he gets hit a lot. He also throws a lot. He's just not. Hopefully, he's made improvements. He's younger here at 28, so he still has time to improve. His counter game needs to improve, but he does have good leg kicks. I will give him that. Pretty good leg kicks as well, and they're heavy. They're heavy. Could compromise Lucas Almeida's leg, to be honest with you. Could even go that far. But Danny Silva is my pick with confidence here. I think he gets the job done. I think he gets it done by KO. 3rd round KO. Ground and pound. People are going to say decision, I think, for Danny Silva. I think it's going to be like a 70-30. What do we got here? Woo, 88-12. Yeah, Danny Silva by decision, 85%. 12.6 by KO. Two more fights, guys. 2 more fights. Another exciting one. These are some bottom of the barrel, low tier women's UFC fights. So that's why I'm saying this. I mean, this one's better than the last one, though. We have Montana de la Rosa versus Luana Carolina, a.k.a. Dread. Fitting, right? With her hair there. Odds on the fight, plus 110 for Montana, minus 130 for Luana. My pick for the fight is going to be Luana. Luana Carolina. We're going with Dread here. We're going with the momentum. 3 wins in a row in the UFC against... I like the Ivana Petrovic win. And I like the KO. And I like the... I mean, she has pretty good wins in the UFC. I'm not going to lie. And they're all consistent here in the last year and a half. I mean, we go back, yes, lost to Molly McCann. Yes, lost to Joanne Wood. But as of recent, she's looked pretty dang good. Montana, on the other hand, you look at her wins, her last 5 fights, not really looking the best. A split decision over Andrea Lee, who's really old. You're getting a split over Andrea Lee. Anywho, you go on to lose against JJ Aldrich. Scrub. Tatiana Suarez, I'll give you a pass. Macy Barber, winnable fight, but you ended up losing. Your last fight was a win over almost dang near 4 years ago over Ariane Lipski. So I got to go with the momentum here. I like Luana Carolina's, first off, she's Brazilian. You know I love my Brazilians. She's beat decent competition. She has decent striking, pretty good leg kicks, and slick takedowns, awesome ground control. Can get a takedown on the open mat or on the fence. So I like that in both aspects here. Yes, Montana's a vet, but she beats trash and loses to good competition. I just went over it. Not good on her back. Luana thrives on top. How's that going to work? Yeah, she's okay on the fence, but it won't last too long. She's hittable. Suspect takedown defense. I will give it to her. She's tough. She has pretty decent cardio. And if she ends up on top, she has okay ground control. It's okay. But on bottom, not very good at all. However, Luana, Carolina. Montana's just not looked good as of late. Odds on the fight were actually surprising to me. I don't know what the odd makers are seeing here. Maybe they want everyone to bet big on Luana because she's a slight favorite. I don't know. Minus 130 kind of suspect to me because I thought she'd be a much bigger favorite. Actually, the odds are coming down now. I wrote minus 135. So, Luana, Carolina is the pick, and we move on. All right, guys. One more fight on the card. This is the first fight on the night. This is a pretty good one too, man. Maybe they wanted this one first to start the card off with a banger because it's going to be. We got Charles Johnson, a.k.a. Inner G, versus Ramazan Temirov, the Timberland. Odds on the fight, plus 100 for Charles Johnson. Slight underdog. Actually, no, slight underdog. Near even. Near even. It is even. Plus 100. My gosh. Minus 125 for Ramazan. Wow. First off, Charles Johnson an underdog after his 4-fight win streak. People are putting a lot of stock into Ramazan into his 1 KO over CJ Vergara, which is his first fight in the UFC, otherwise fighting in Risen. Only one fight in Risen, kind of bouncing around between fucking leagues. Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's a prove it to me situation here, and you got a UFC vet in my opinion here. Someone I've doubted in the past, and I quit freaking doubting. He's underrated again in this situation as well. He loves to keep his range. He has nice striking. He has great cardio. He's tough. Good takedown defense. Nice boxing. And one key thing. I know I might sound crazy for this, but he's beaten an OV before, okay? Yeah, if your name ends in the OV, you're probably fucking good. He's beaten an OV before, okay? And he was not a scrub. Now, Ramazan, on the other hand, UFC newcomer. He does have lots of fighting experience. I will give him that. Yeah, he's bouncing around from league to league, but nevertheless, ranked 22 in the world. They're already giving him a 22 ranking. He's fucking jacked, man. Nice, short and stout, wide shoulders. He's an OV. Has huge power, humongous power. And, I mean, his cardio, suspect. And, not suspect, but I guess undetermined? Haven't seen him go 3 rounds. But he has nice movement, huge hooks, and explodes into his shots. Charles Johnson's going to take him into deep waters. He's going to teach him a veteran UFC lesson. He's going to pick him apart and beat him up for 3 rounds. That's my opinion. The other way this could go, which a lot of people are thinking, which I'm done doubting Charles Johnson. I'm done. If he screws me here again, so be it. But anyway, they're thinking Ramazan's going to find the KO shot. But Charles Johnson's gone up against killers and withstood any sort of first round pressure or the storm and came back to win these fights. He fucking beat Joshua Van. Beat this Sumer. I mean, that was with ease anyway. Beat Jake Hadley. Beat Azat Maksum. His last loss was to a Rafael Esteban, which that guy's game plan was to just wrestle fuck him. And then he lost the 3rd round. Esteban anyway, because he got super tired. And Charles Johnson has that cardio, can fight all 3 rounds and still be there. I think that Charles Johnson does better, finds better shots, and wins the decision here. People are split. People are so split on this. Look, I'll buy into the Temirov hype if I see him beat Charles Johnson. And look, it is likely, it is likely, it's live. It is highly possible Johnson could get chinned here. But I will say this. Let me click on Charles Johnson. When's the last time that he got knocked out? Oh, never. So think about that. Charles Johnson is my pick. Teaching that veteran lesson, buddy. All right, y'all. That is UFC Vegas 103. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. appreciate your support. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel. That way you can get the picks video on Monday, bets video on Wednesday, my music if you like it, right? And all other updates and things like that, MMA. So super cool. Subscribe to my Patreon. That's where you can get all of my bets when I place them. I actually just put one in earlier this morning, and I sent the post out, so you can get the odds when I put the bet in, that because they always just sway the other way. So trust me. Subscribe to the Patreon. It's free. I mean, it's free. Why the heck not? And lastly, let's make some freaking money this week, guys. Let's go. UFC Vegas 103. Young Pasty out of here.